The Fakemon Ultra collab is back. Oh, how did nobody see this for 2 years? Not the Fakemon Ultra collab. It's the Fakemon community collab. Yep, that's 100% better. Hey guys, Wheels back with another video, and this is my entry for the Fakemon Community Collab, which was previously named the Fakemon Ultra Collab, because not only did somebody notice the acronym, but also to reference the nature of this event, because while a small handful of people usually kick it off, anybody is allowed to make a video for it, as long as they follow the prompt, get their video/Pokemon out before that year ends, and use the corresponding hashtag of #Fakemon Community Collab 2024. The first year's theme was cryptids, then last year's theme was duality. This year's theme is inversion. It's basically where you take a common trope or idea and invert aspects about it, then make a Fakemon for that. For example, let's take the stereotype/media trope that cats hate water. We could invert it to be that this cat loves water, and you can make it a water cat. Also, this video will be released on my birthday, so that's cool. Oh, one last thing to mention before I get into the Fakemon. I now have a drawing tablet. It connects to my rinky-dink laptop that allows me to draw, and all of the Pokemon in this video were drawn using that tablet. You do see me struggling a bit and learning the ropes in some of the time lapses, so that's why. Unfortunately, all it seems to do at the moment is allow me to control the mouse for drawing, so I can still do most of the features, but I can't undo or zoom from the tablet. I would need to go onto my computer and do it from there. If anybody has tips on what to do because the instruction manual it came with wasn't helpful, it is a Gawomon M10K battery-free graphic tablet. Anyways, let's get into the video. First Fakemon in this video was a simple idea I had that I felt like had enough fitting pieces to make into a good Fakemon and not just abandon. The concept is based on a rhino and an oxpecker bird. For those of you who don't know, rhinoceros have a symbiotic relationship with the oxpecker bird, where the bird gets food in the form of pests on the rhino, and the rhino gets less pests. So what if I flip this? Instead of a small bird on the back of a large rhino, let's do a small rhino on the back of a large oxpecker. This wasn't the first Fakemon I made on the tablet, so I already had a bit of a grip. I had the idea of a small bird-like Pegasus-esque rhino with a drilled beak/horn who would burrow through the evolution oxpecker, because it would also be based on a termite hill/large mounds of dirt and earth in general. I like to imagine that some sort of termite Pokemon would try to infest the evolution, so the Prevo would bury through and exterminate the termites. I made the Prevo's wings be akin to the scientifically accurate Pegasus because a rule of nature is you either have front limbs or you have wings. Can't have both, i.e. bats, birds, and others. Which is also why wyverns are the most scientifically accurate dragon, but I digress. So I always love to draw Pegasuses as these horses that are missing their front legs, and the wings are on the sides of the body near where the limbs were. Kinda like what the first stage has got going on. I gave it the red around the eye like oxpeckers have and gave it a shovel-shaped tail. The shiny was just giving it more dirt colors in the blue instead of red. The evolution though, it's pretty good. I made the termite hill shape its body while also having anthill inspiration with the patterns. I do want to say though, that this is also slightly inspired by the secretary bird, a flightless bird of prey. So this bird is flightless because of all the earth it has on its feathers. I made its beak more drill-like and some gray spots on its face to show that its feathers are beneath the mud. I made it shiny inspired by mossy cobblestone from Minecraft, being gray with green outlines. Here is Rhinox, the Rhino Pokemon, from Rhino and Oxpecker, a ground and flying type. Rhinox loves burrowing around its mother's muddy feathers because while they keep their mom free from pests, they get a snack and protection from attackers. I think it is cute, and it is a good Fakemon. Let's evolve it, shall we? Here is Terrox, the Oxpecker Mound Pokemon, from Oxpecker, Terrain, and Termites because of the termite mounds. A ground and flying type. I love how this turned out. It's nice and sleek while also being bulky, and it's a good balance of the two. I'd say this is a worthy enough Pokemon to join the ground and flying type greats of Landorus and Gliscor and Gligar, I guess, since I ran out of options to list. Next, let's do a gimmick Fakemon. This gimmick idea was the first idea I had for the Inversion prompt. The idea goes as follows. I would make a trio, with each member of that trio being a different starter type of fire, water, and grass. Each one would have the same ability, giving them the ability to deal super effective damage to the type that they are weak to normally with their type. For example, while water deals super effective damage on fire, in this case, fire could also do super effective damage on water. Same for grass to fire and water to grass. It is inverted mutualism. Mutualism is a form of symbiotic relationship where both sides have benefit, so inverting that would make every side of the relationship suffer. I loved this gimmick and saved it up until I had to make the Fakemon. But I was stumped. What else could I add to a trio other than the gameplay mechanic? So I did some Googling, and after the first two results for famous trios in media were interesting. The first one was the Three Musketeers. I saw that and that kind of fit the idea of the trio attacking each other, but the second trio that showed up had the right vibes and fit immediately. So, what about if we invert the brotherly love for rivalry in the form of Alvin and the Chipmunks? Yeah, I know that the Alvin and the Chipmunks are kinda random, but according to Google, it is the second most popular trio in media, and that's funny in my opinion. Also, it kinda works with my concept. Since they are brothers and have a sort of synergy, these chipmunks hate each other. I think of them as forming rivaling gangs of each of the forms, because who doesn't love split factions within a species? Also, for the typings of fire, water, and grass, they match the colors of Alvin, Simon, and Theodore's sweaters, respectively. The yellow A on Alvin's sweater also matches heat and fire. So that wasn't that difficult to incorporate. For Simon, I can make his glasses out of water, very Clink and Bobble from Tinkerbell. For Theodore, I could say that his sweater is made of moss with a hood of leaves. These forms are exclusive and can't be switched between each other. I made the shinies pale yellow and dark bluish gray, which I think looks really nice next to each other. Here is Chippunk, the Chipmunk Pokemon, from Chipmunk and Punk, because now it's got more of a punky attitude. The Blaze Coat is normal fire, the Brine Coat is normal water, and the Bloom Coat is normal grass. These forms seem to hate being around each other, and only like to hang out with other Chippunk wearing similar outfits. It is said that the outfits are worn to show their loyalty to each other. They seem to hate each other so much that their ability reflects it. That ability is Choir Vying, named after how Alvin, Simon, and Theodore are singers in their franchise, and vying means to compete eagerly with someone in order to do or achieve something. Choir Vying allows the user to hit super effective damage on water, fire, or grass type with whichever one the user has, but the ability does not take effect when the user uses their own type on itself. All in all, it's not a bad Fakemon, and I think it encapsulates Alvin the Chipmunk and his brothers really well. The last two are based on a famous fairy tale, one including a group of architect swine being assaulted by a property-damaging canine, who gets roasted alive by the eldest swine and consumed. That's right, these last two Fakemon are based on the Three Little Pigs! So, what ways would I invert this? I could do 3 wolves that attack 1 pig, I could do a wolf who builds houses and a trio of pigs who destroys them, or I could do 3 big bad pigs that bully a little wolf. I chose the last one because as I was preparing to draw my first Fakemon on my new tablet, I had the idea to play into a big bad pig by combining it with a canine that has a strong connection to the number 3. Cerberus. For those of you who don't know, Cerberus is a 3-headed dog in ancient Greek mythology. It sits at the entrance to the underworld and guards it from intruders. So that fits perfectly into a big, strong, mean, brutish pig based on the 3 Little Pigs. I also had it inspired by number 3 grade pigs, which are the big, beefy pigs that get bred to be eaten and turned into pork, which also plays into the original story where the wolf gets cooked by the eldest pig from falling into the fire at the bottom of the chimney. I also wanted to give it the mindset similar to the stereotypical strongman, because that is another subtle inspiration. I also gave the 3 pig heads facial hair to both help the strongman stuff, but to also reference the straw, stick, and brick houses of each pig. I made the shiny have a lime green, mainly to reference Angry Birds, to be honest. Here is Cerberus, the 3 pigs Pokemon, from Cerberus and Boar, another word for pig, a fighting and dark type. It is said that each head has a mind of its own, and sometimes they fight over who controls the main body. Cerberus are said to be bratty, and apparently they bully and assault other wild Pokemon that invade its territory. While it is strong enough to get away with bullying almost any small Pokemon, the species as a whole seems to prefer to bully a specific Pokemon. Let's go over that Pokemon, shall we? I started by wondering what I could do for a small wolf. I looked up small wolf breeds, to which I was met with nothing. Then I searched for small wild dog breeds and found fennec foxes. I know the Fennekin line exists, but this mod will be different enough to where it's fine. So since fennec foxes aren't really known for their strength, I made it the species of the bully victim. I looked up traits inherited from being a victim of bullying, and the main result I got was that it makes the victim more aggressive and the victim wants to start more fights. So I made this canine reddish in color to show its rage. I made some of the bandages on it shaped like the anime vein that bulges out of foreheads when they get mad. The bandages are not only to show that it's gotten into fights, but also to be used as a threat. Because while it is only normal type, a lot of fighting types have bandage-like patterns. I made it pure normal so that it doesn't have any super effective moves on its bully Cerberus because it isn't strong enough to fight back, and its bully Cerberus would have the super effective attack with fighting. The bandages, along with its eyes, are purple to reference bruises and black eyes respectively. I had it use its ears to cover its eyes because that feels in character for it. I made its shiny have some nice organic blues and dark green, along with a lovely contrasting rust color. Here is Zerdabuse, the bullied Pokemon, from Zerda, part of the scientific name for the fennec fox, and a corruption spelling of abuse. A normal type. Zerdabuse are often hostile to humans because they have been treated terribly by other wild Pokemon. They are common targets of Cerberus' rage and brutish nature. Zerdabuse appear to secretly be very compassionate to those who are kind to it and don't mean harm. All in all, I think that both Cerberus and Zerdabuse are amazing. And there you have it. What do you guys think of my submission for the 2024 Fakemon Community Collab? Tell me down in the comments, along with birthday wishes if you want. And if you, viewer at home, want to make a submission for the 2024 Fakemon Community Collab, feel free to. Anybody who wants to make a submission can. All you have to do is include the hashtag Fakemon Community Collab 2024 and release it before January 1st of 2025. In case the title, thumbnail, or the intro didn't help you learn the theme, this year's theme is Inversion, aka the inversion of a common trope or idea. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the future.